So welcome to the quail tower. We've got our dust baths on the side here. And if you come take a look, I haven't cleaned it recently, but come take a look. They're running away now that I'm poking at their glass. We've got quite a few birds in there just hanging out, playing in the sand. And what's gonna happen is they do poop in there sometimes. Don't have any egg production yet, so we're not sure exactly how dirty they'll get or how often we'll have to do this. But we just take off the clips and drop them down, and all the sand comes out with any poop and feathers. And the birds can stay up there. And any eggs would have come right to the front here, rolled right out, so I could collect them. Just make sure there's no poop or anything stuck in there. There's a little bit in this corner. The dirt is kind of down. There we go. Hey, got some dirt in here. There we go. So I've got to figure out how to make it not stick in that corner, but for now it's all right. So all that dirt, poop, everything's out. Put this back up. And yeah, I need to edit this a little bit to make sure the sand goes actually in the bin. But all the sand is now in the one below, to the birds below. And any poop, feathers, rocks, it's all been collected. So I'll have to wash my hands after, but this doesn't feel like poo, but like pee or something in the sand. Some moisture, and it collects it all. And close this up for the other birds and go toss this in the bin. This is the fly larva bin. We don't have our fly larvae yet, but they should be coming in the next couple days. And then I can just dump feathers, poop, a little bit of sand, whatever, into that bin. Now we're on to the next. So now that these guys have a little sand, we need to add some. And the easiest way to add some is from the cage above. These guys, this one's a lot cleaner because it's only the one, where these ones the sand is settling, so the bottom cages do get dirtier. There we go. There's one poop that didn't go through. And that's that. And the only thing left is the feather. A couple rocks that are too big, and sand that's either got poop on it or some pee. We're still not sure how many uses we'll get out of the sand. Luckily, we have a lot of sand on the property. There's sand quarries all around us.
Let's see this one.
You want what? The sand went in, and it's been filtered. There's a little bit of stuff in it, still dry stuff. And then the birds will come and scratch it and move it back to the whole area. There is some poo in here, but very little. So if you look in the bin, this one I think has gone through 3 cycles already. There is some dry poop that has gotten through the filter because it's dry and there's no moisture to it. But as soon as the birds come and they push it around a little bit, that poo will sink, the little bit that's there, will sink right down to the bottom. And there is lots of little grit and different things. And not sure it's important, but the sand is actually warm from the birds above. So they're constantly getting, it's almost like a sauna in here as far as the warmth. And so they're getting a nice warm place every time, and it's reused from above. So some of you may be wondering, I've been touching the sand that may have some poo on it, And there is a tiny little bit on this finger that I guess was wet. So obviously whenever I'm done this stage, I wash my hands because sometimes you'll get poo on your hands, but the majority of what's on my hands is just dust. It's very clean because all the poo gets coated with the sand. And so actually the smell in this barn with how many birds we have should be pretty intense, but it's very minimal. And I don't even have a good venting system yet. We're still working on that for the air quality to be where I want it. But even with just the sand falling, and if you look in the tray here where the poo is, if you can come under and look, you'll notice that there's a lot of sand in here. And what happens is as the birds go in the dust bath and then they walk over, they shake it all out. And so there's sand spread through the whole poop and it just falls on top. So not only is it filtering and kind of containing the odor of any poo that's in the box, which is pretty minimal, it actually coats a thin layer across everything, all the poop bin. And then as far as the dust in here, it's not too bad yet, but as we get more birds, I do assume it's going to become a little heavier. So we'll have to figure out how to keep that down. I don't know if it's moisture or just vacuuming instead of sweeping, but that's part of the joys of trying new things. You got to figure stuff out. So I've taken the sand out of the last bin. The last two aren't finished yet because we don't have the birds for it. And I'm missing one piece of plastic to finish off basically the whole tower. When that comes in, hopefully in the next couple days, that can be done. But for now, I've taken the dust out of here. The birds are still in here because they love this spot to hide and play and whatever, but there's no dust. So what I have to do, and I don't have a good system yet, is to climb up to the top and put some sand into it. So far, I've been just taking the dust that we collected, as it's still very clean. Lots of grit in here because I'm using grit and sand from the property. But as far as excrement or things, I mean, a couple feathers, but pretty great. And so let's throw that up. And so far, no one's trying to get out on me, which is good. And if they do, I'll probably have to turn it into two sections instead of one big door, so I can manage that a bit better. Now that one has sand, you just do the other side. Eventually I gotta get a bin that's at the right height. Again, still working through some of the kinks in the first week, but very, very pleased with the process so far. So that's the dust baths for the day. We're now done. So we've just cleaned out 6 dust baths for basically 300 birds in, I don't know, under 10 minutes. And I'm not efficient yet. So as we get efficiency, that'll speed up. Because we just cleaned it. Are you taking a video or a picture?
I'm taking a video. You can explain if you want.
Yeah. So we have decided every once in a while to clean the outside and the inside of this bin so the birds have a little more light, as we don't want the dimness to affect or negatively affect egg production, as they do need a good amount of sun every day, and I didn't want them to be hiding in a dark box and then have that effect. So this is one we just wiped out with just water, and you can see in perfectly well, where one down here we haven't touched, and so it's hard to see what's going on. And in order to see, I mean, outside helps, but doing the outside and the inside goes a long way for being able to see what's going on in there.